Finding a queen is a really important skill. So for a beginner, the main reason you would have a marked queen is because she's easier to find. My name is Adam Hickman with Foxhound Bee Company. I've got a queen on this frame. This is a colony that's coming out of winter. It's a little small, but we're gonna go ahead and mark the queen. So I wanted to explain this whole queen marking thing. When you buy bees, sometimes when you buy the queen, it'll say she's marked or not marked. What that means is a beekeeper is taking something like this. This is called a Posca marker, and they are putting a colored dot on the back of her thorax. So let me show you this queen here. Let's see, she's right there. So you can see she has a different shape than all these female workers around her. And if you look, she doesn't have shoulder blades, but imagine she had shoulder blades. There's like this black bald spot. That is where the queen, the marker goes. So I'm gonna show you how to do that in a second. But before I do that, I'm gonna kind of explain this whole like queen marking thing. So there's really two reasons to do this. For a beginner, the main reason you would have a marked queen is because she's easier to find. So you could have any color marker and you just put a little dot, or you buy her with a dot on her. And if you're trying to find the queen and there's something blue walking around in there, it's a lot easier to find her. But finding a queen is a really important skill. So when we sell bees, we typically don't sell them like a marked queen, because when you get the nuke, that's going to be the easiest it'll ever be to find the queen. So we want you to like develop that skill. So it makes her easier to find. The other reason is for like the record keeping. So if I mark this queen blue, and it's February right now, and if I go back into the hive in April and I find another queen and she's not marked, that tells me that it's a brand new queen. Something has happened, some type of queen event has happened, and they have replaced that queen, and you've got a brand new one. That's one reason you would mark it. Another one is you would know the age of the queen. So this is 2026 right now, but this queen is from 2025, so I'm going to use the color blue. So you use the color blue on years that end with 5 and 0, meaning the queen was born on either a year that ends with 5 or ends with 0. You would use the blue one. And there's a little rhyme. I have to look at every time, but there's a rhyme to remember the color, and it's, will you raise good bees? So the W would be years that end with 1 and 6, so it's white, and years that end with 0 or 5 are blue. All right, when you buy these pens, this is what they look like. So it's going to come white like this. This has been used, so it's not white anymore. So if you press on it, you can see that that little tip goes down in there like that. So when you get it, you have to like prime this. So you shake this for 30 seconds or so just to kind of get that paint moving. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this and just push it down onto something. You're going to get that paint flowing into the end. So you can see there's that big like blue blob right there. You do not want that on your queen. And especially it's worse if the pen is hot. If the pen is hot, it's been in your vehicle, you don't want like you to cover that queen with blue paint. And you're just going to kind of like wet the tip a little bit. So just kind of getting this started. All right, so I've got like the tip of this is wet. So there's little tools that you can buy for grabbing the queen, and you can kind of funnel into this thing. I'm just gonna grab her with my fingers here. So very gently, I'm just gonna grab her like this. The end of this little paint pen is blue, and I'm just gonna very gently do that to her back like this. So you can see she's got a blue spot, and I'm gonna gently just kind of let her walk back into the hive. Sometimes, and I've seen it happen, if you handle a queen, she will kind of go into shock, and it looks like, and you worry like, oh my gosh, I just killed the queen. It doesn't happen a lot, but it definitely does happen. So if you do handle the queen and then you put her back in there and she curls up, don't worry about it too much. Just leave her right on the top bar and she will like wake up out of this little shock thing. So don't be concerned if you do that. Trust me, I've done it before, and there's a moment of panic of just like, I'm trying to help the queen to make it easier, and then I just killed my queen. So try not to do that. But if it does happen, don't worry about it too much. So she's walking around. It's going to take a couple minutes to dry. If you are using those little tools, you could mark queens. And if you go and you mark this queen, and then you go in here and you mark a queen from this one, and then you release this queen, she may have some of that pheromone from this other queen on there too. So just be aware of that. And they may kill their own queen because it has some of that smell from the other queen because you use the exact same tool. So just be aware of that one. So if I'm using one of those tools, I'll usually let her dry for a little bit in there, and then I will release her back in there. So see, she's doing good. You can still see a little blue mark right on her. It's kind of wiped off a little bit. Yeah, that's how you mark your queen. Thanks, guys.